We start today with some breaking news on the set. Urban Meyer now feels a 4-team playoff needs to be expanded.
Preach, Coach.
Who are
Preach.
you? I don't know who you are anymore.
I know. I can't believe it either, but I'll tell you what, I have had some really deep conversations with some of my colleagues, and the game is changing. And I think the playoff, I can't believe I'm saying it because I'm a traditionalist. I love the bowl games. I love the bowl experiences, but you have two different sets of groups. You have the elite group, the high-profile players, and the maybe not so high-profile. I'm not saying bad players, but when I was at Notre Dame, we went 7-6 one time. We went to the Independence Bowl. Team didn't want to go.
Yeah.
And so what these coaches are dealing with, I kind of dealt with, but not like now. There's two things important to elite players. NFL, college football playoff. If that doesn't happen, they're not going to play in bowl games. And I'm not saying all of them, but I know coaches are dealing with that on a day-to-day basis. I say expand the playoff. I can't believe that came out of them. Expand the playoff because I know you guys will say more teams are going to be involved. I say more players are going to be involved.
Right.
Or they're going to get out.
Yeah.
So you're going to see these phenomenal athletes not be able to play because they have no interest. What does the Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl, Fiesta Bowl mean to some of these players? College football playoff, NFL. That's all that matters.
And Coach is right. It doesn't mean what it used to mean, and I think it's been part because the playoff has become so exclusive, and it's become exclusive to really teams that can recruit at the highest level. You know, you look at National Signing Day, the early signing period just took place this past week. Guess who was number one? Alabama. I'm sure everyone finds that shocking. Number two, Ohio State. The top five, you have Clemson at number 5. And you have those three teams right now sitting in the top 4. And the reason is because now players are looking at those schools and saying, I want a chance to go to the NFL. I want a chance to win a national championship.
Right.
Well, with only a 4-team playoff, that's really all you're getting right now. You know, you look at the 5-star recruits. We're talking about the blue chip guys. 22 of the 29 5-star recruits in this year's class went to the top 10 teams in recruiting. Everyone else is looking at the rest of the class. And that's not to say there's not good players. But the reality is, Coach, you always talk about it. You know, one of your pillars when you build a culture and a team is talent. And all that talent is going to the top schools right now. So if we don't expand to 16, you're being more exclusive. You're not allowing a lot of those other schools to have that same pitch that Bama, Ohio State, and Clemson have. And I just want to talk about brands quickly for a second. Gonzaga was a team that we looked at in basketball as, you know, the Cinderella story for some years. Now they're the best team in college basketball right now. That could be Coastal Carolina maybe one day, or some of these other mid-major schools or smaller schools. Let's open it up. Let's get to 8, maybe even 16 at one point in time, and allow this thing to have more teams involved, more chance of winning a national championship.
Yeah, absolutely. The way the system's set up, those teams will never get a chance to get in the college football playoff. This was probably the year, and you look at Cincy, Coastal Carolina, there's no shot. They're not making it, obviously, but it's inevitable. I think it gets to that point, but currently the system needs to change. In my opinion, hey, let's get rid of the divisions. The Big 12, that's what they've done for the last couple of years. Brady, that's what the ACC did, and what it does, it ensures your top 2 teams in your conference. Hey, Clemson, Notre Dame, your top 2, go play in a rematch, winners in the playoff, right? If you look at the SEC title game today, it would be Alabama, Texas A&M, who's sitting there at 5. So I think that's one way to clear up that kind of muddy picture to get the Final 4 teams in. And then just the criteria. We talk about it, Coach, you know, the eye test and what are these committee members looking at. Just solidify the criteria. Is it a conference championship? Is it your win-loss record? Whatever it is, because right now, when you look at Florida moving one spot down, obviously losses don't matter. Iowa State, I love. The 2 losses completely don't matter at this point. So I think the committee is judging these teams based on what they think they're going to be on the field in the future, not really what's happening right now.
So you're advocating for a single table, if you will, in conference standings, which I love.
I love the expansion. I've been for that for 2 years. But if not, maybe get rid of the divisions. That way, at least round robin style. Everyone plays the same amount of games.
Single table and expansion over there.
I'm fired up, man.
We did the temperature check before we got in here. I agree with both of you on all these. And Reg, we join him now from Southern California, and you've been pushing for this 8-team playoff, especially for this 2020 that we've all had to endure. So what would your 8-team bracket look like for this year?
Well, listen, Rob, at the end of the day, we're tired of the same 3 or 4 teams in the playoffs every year, right? It's the Alabamas, it's the Clemsons, Ohio States. I'm a fan of greatness, but it's time for more. We put together an 8-team bracket of what it would look like this year if we were to visit expansion. Alabama versus Oregon. Mac Jones versus that Oregon defense that we saw slow down USC last night. Ian Book versus Spencer Rattler. Who would not want to see that game? Trevor Lawrence versus this nasty Cincinnati defense that we've been talking about all year. I want to see them. They should be rewarded for that undefeated season. And then the other game, Ohio State versus Texas A&M, Kellen Mond. I mean, what do you want? Those are action-packed games, and that's what college football fans deserve. We just have not had that opportunity. And I love the point that Brady made earlier. The thing that makes March Madness so special, it's the Cinderella teams. Cincinnati could be that Cinderella team this year.
Start your Saturday strong at 10 Eastern with a legendary college football lineup on the Big Noon Kickoff Show. Big Noon Kickoff on Fox.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.